maybe you can't. Hello. Oh, you can't. Sorry. Change some. Sorry to hear myself. Some audio settings from last time because there was some microphone hiss, so just wanted to make sure it was still fine. Which I believe it is. Okay. Well, welcome everyone to Barbell Gaming, the Stanley Parable streaming channel that you need. I'm Barbell. You're very welcome to the stream. If you'd like to support me, support the channel, please give me a follow on Twitch. I'd really appreciate it. And also check out my YouTube, just Barbell Gaming. All my old streams go there as VODs, along with some highlights. So, back on this again this evening. I want to play a bit more of this, because it was actually quite interesting yesterday, and I'm certain there are more endings to try and get with this, so play this for a while, and depending on how long I play for, I may get on again a second game after this, potentially, unless this takes up most of the evening. So yeah, I've already been greeted by somebody who has asked me to set the time again, and has thanked me for setting the correct time twice in a row, and then also asked me to enter my favourite time at the start. So some interaction before we even started the game, which I didn't record. Okay, so let's see. I think I am still. You can still hear me, can't you? Yeah, you can. I changed the mic settings to hopefully put some noise suppression on it, so as you shouldn't hear like a real. The thing is, when I normally play Team Fortress, or if I'm playing some other game, I'll have audio in the background, like I'll have some music playing. But because this is such a quiet game, you can kind of hear the hiss. It's like way more noticeable. I watched the stream back, and you can hear the mic hiss. So hopefully, I did a test record, to see if it made a difference. So noise suppression is on. So hopefully that should fix. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that should fix the issue. Okay. So without further ado, let us continue on and see where we are with Big Stan the man. I think I remember where I left off. I don't know whether or not it'll put me back to where I left off. Like, what is the save? What's the save like?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Does it not save your? Does it not start? Well, it mustn't do. I think last time Last time I think. Oh, walked out of here. Picked up the bucket, which
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Could possibly be
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder, is it worthwhile going through the start again as normal?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
420. 420, blaze it. It is. Okay. What did I want to do last time? Did I get... Took the bucket, unplugged the phone.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So I'm gonna go this way again, but I don't know if it's gonna end up being the same. If it ends up being the same storyline as last time, as in like yesterday, I might just begin again and go back to the start, because
this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Bucket was talking to him.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Okay.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
So last time...
How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
last time I just walked out there and he says, oh, clearly not, the bucket was wrong, so I'm gonna just chill here for a minute and see if we can get another piece of dialogue to play.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Okay, let's go on.
No, never mind.
Okay.
The bucket was wrong.
It's the same thing played last time.
Stanley
We
took
should
the
have
door
stayed
on
there
his
longer.
left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
Oh,
don't go
yes.
to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
So last time I'm gonna do something
Now
different
ride
here
the lift
again.
all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
So last time we went up there, we ended up getting into the same phone room again. The phone rang. I unplugged the phone. We went through a whole comedic timing skit, and then ended up back at the two doors again. So this time, I've obviously jumped down here. So let's see what happens this time with the bucket, if anything. See. Anything different should happen. Oh, wait a minute, this is no buckets beyond this point.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I'm scared. We can't go back this way, can we? Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
What is this fucking game like?
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Is that an old Massey Ferguson you have there, sir? A red Massey? Ford blue, Ford's are green, John Deere's are green. Sorry, Ford's blue, John Deere's green. Old Massey's red, like. Old Massey Ferguson.
What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Old Massey. Old Massey, sir.
Is this a bucket?
God. This is going to be a wrong answer. Yes.
This is a bucket.
Fucking knew it. Can't win. You bastards.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is?
What is
a bucket?
What is the concept of a bucket?
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
It's kind of like, not quite the
What
same.
happened? Is everything gone?
Everything
Why
is a
did
bucket,
everything
see?
disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
There's a bit in... Again, spoilers. Spoilers for the game Portal. So if you don't want to hear spoilers... okay.
All of his
skip
co-workers were
or
gone.
pause, whatever.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
There's
room.
a,
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There is a...
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
There is a bit where you have a companion cube.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
And you're forced to destroy this companion cube after being with it for so long. It's kind of heartbreaking. I thought that's what he was going to ask us to do. Destroy the bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
I can't even...
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? that your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point.
I can't.
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Take that, broom closet.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take our hike, broom closet, with all their meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Let's do the boss's office first, and then we'll go down the stairs next time. Okay. Oh, look.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Perfect. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. I don't know what that is in reference to. Okay. What is that? Can I? Oh, here we go. Oh shit, I can go down. Oh, okay. Oh god. So that's an extra couple of... So you must be able to go up as well as down here. You can also go into the boss's office. Probably a couple of options in there as well. Jesus. Oh god. What the fuck happened there? You just didn't move anywhere. Is this really all this does? Fucking hell, lads. Right.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I ate him. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
There we go. Back rooms action going on here. I ate his liver.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Oh, I still haven't done the ending where I turn on the power of the thing at the very end.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Jesus.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh yeah, I haven't done this bit yet. I haven't done this bit yet without the bucket either.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, dear God, no. Oh,
As the
no.
machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
Oh, dear.
Farewell, Stanley.
No!
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator,
Oh my God.
as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh. Interesting.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Jeez. So, okay. What a nice area.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
25 buckets? As in... Because some of them aren't actually buckets and some of them are. Is that meant to be the joke? Some are and some aren't. What's in there? Not for my eyes, anyway. Stress bucket analogy. Huh. It's probably legit enough, I'd say. Fix our lights in there. I'll bust it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. The bucket had been around for several millennia. Worship the bucket. That's funny. It's like
no man
throat
can
singing.
own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as
I
this
can't
one.
throat sing.
It is man who should kneel before the
It's
bucket.
very loud. Kneel before the bucket. Kneel. Ah. Ooh, I'm tempted. Did I see everything in here? There was another set of stairs. Let's do it. Fuck it. Oh. Oh. Okay.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Oh, Jesus
Let
Christ.
Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Did the bucket live? Can I fucking answer this message on my phone? Or hit my keypad?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, okay. Do I want the bucket again?
Warmth spread through
See
Stanley's
this here?
arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
There is a way, so I've done this before where I've got 2 inputs. There must be a way to get another, you know what, 3? Yeah, 5 in total.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. What is this? Synergize. Promote synergy. Micromanage. Be weird, the collectibles. Shut the frick up. Fuck, would have been funny there. Source of limitation. Difficulty finding. Fig leaves are hard to find. Follow the clues provided by employee 416. Thank you and good luck. To my concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to area office ambiances, local audio resources using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noise. Data shows that in all likelihood it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. Okay, so that's going to be like behind the fireplace in the boss's office, possibly. I also picked up what looks to be reverberance of A porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads on this? Wouldn't you like to know? Ha 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 ha. Weird spinning figurines. Ideas. Employee 41 building a bridge. It's a non-disclosure agreement. Bonus stuff. What we forgot, what we know, what we don't know yet. Very Valve-esque is this game. What's going on here? Warehouse access plan. We need more planks. So that's stairway. There's a fireplace there. Red and blue door. There's a secret door off to the right. What's that there? I don't know what this is here. Use one plank to allow you to have access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. Okay. Mission status. Lol, looks like 47. Haha. 5 there be. Just take it from me. Gotta collect them all. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. Inside of sequel exhibit. A large room, lots of boxes, so that's obviously the warehouse. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere both red and blue, nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. A large room, lots of boxes, stairs. Some red and blue. Nice, really. Stuck in yourselves on so much you want to move home. There will be a reward. Trust the completionist instinct. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, feel pointless to be honest. Okay. Right.
Alright, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Stairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
They call it Figlies, aren't
What
they?
name better encapsulates the intrinsic
whiteboard?
sense of happiness that you
Figlies.
get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it.
Love it.
I'm sure it will come to me.
The rewarding noise and the increase in it's the same thing as last time. Do you want to go on in here or do you want to do the boss's office? See the fireplace. In there. See, I think it's in there somewhere. I'm gonna try this again. Wonder how long, if you stay in here long enough, I wonder, does it do anything, I wonder? It's not giving me a reticule there. For that, maybe?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed that Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Oh, this is where the other.
most
This is
logical
where the other
explanation.
thing was here. Okay, so there's something with a little boxes, and it's behind something warm. Behind something warm. No, that was the one that we just got. So there was one. A room full of boxes. Where's the other one?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
So this time I'm gonna go through here. I'm gonna go and press the other button on the big mega machine.
Monitors jumped to life, and
I
Stanley
feel
nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
For
Everyone
what are we,
in the office
2-7?
was being videotaped, monitored
2-7.
like guinea pigs.
Where's my
The bucket
office?
had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
We made love the bucket,
Stanley
yeah.
cradled it
Love the
gently,
bucket, love the bucket.
reassuring it that everything would be
427, is that on me? How's the audio sounding today? I think it was yourself said a lot of hissing yesterday. I think it should hopefully sound better.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
Audio sounds good.
What kinds of things
Nice.
does a bucket want to do or not
Nice.
want to do in the first place?
I'm glad.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket
Oh, he
tighter.
screams
His
it
one
into the
friend
bucket.
in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
I think potentially there could be a bit of betrayal going on here. A bit of bucket betrayal, potentially.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
4. Where's 3? 1, 2. Offline. There's 5. And 4 is up there. How the fuck am I to get up to 4? I don't think I can get that. There must be a light switch in here. A light switch in here somewhere. Number 4. Why the fuck can't I get up there? Turn the brightness up a bit. Auto. Enables additional walk for one-handed walk. What's this? The fuck is auto walk? Remove screen shaking camera volume. Oh, nice. Shoot. Oh, yeah. Subtitles. Show subtitles. I can't change the fucking brightness. Are you joking? Okay, fine. Fine. But yeah, so there's obviously a way to get up there to get 4. And then number 5's over there. I'll find a way. Don't worry, number 4. Unless am I being stupid? Check. Fuck, it's so dark. Can't see a thing. This gate. Where can I open this gate, can I? Okay, alright, okay. Okay. That's fine. So this time I'm gonna press on.
When at last they came to but at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Oh, lovely, look. Flamingos.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
It's just a meme.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along?
The birds work for the
Stanley marveled at the metal
bourgeoisie.
genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
All of the birds
Stanley
died.
and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I'd be happy enough standing here watching videos of birds all day. With my good pal Bucket. Never seen that ending before. Oh, good. That's good. I'm glad I was able to give you something different.
All of his
To view.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
How many actual endings
Stanley
are there in
decided
this
to go to
game?
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
There's a
missed
lot.
a memo.
Okay, so they're still looking for the figurines. Did I take the bucket? What was I going to do next time? I was going to try to do that sequence. Go right. Do I want the bucket? Maybe leave the bucket this time? Grab it next time? Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. We'll leave the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
hold
he
on.
entered the door on his left.
What was there I was going to do? So, the boss's office. I've done that. I think I want to go right and see
This
what
was
happens.
not the correct way to the meeting room,
Let's see.
and
Let's
Stanley
see,
knew
let's
it
see.
perfectly
So that was a
well.
new content room,
Perhaps
I'm
he
pretty
wanted
sure,
to
last
stop by
time.
the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, I know what ending we can do. I know what ending we can do.
Yes, this room.
Yes, goodbye.
But eager to get back to business,
I have an
Stanley
ending
took
we
the
can
first open door on his left.
No, we don't want to take that door for the minute. Gonna go through here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired.
There's
years ago.
something... So, they said there was a figurine in a room for the box. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. This is a rickety... This is where your man died. Ah, okay. Nice.
You're getting close now, Stanley.
So I think I know where the last one is.
Gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon,
I think-
you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will
Yeah.
equal the second number, and
I know
that
where the second
will
one...
be
where the last one is.
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we
Can
used
I
to
remember?
have none of them, and now we have them all.
Can I
You
remember how to
can't
get
go
there?
back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
So the last one is going to be... It's beside the red and blue door. Now, the question is, how do I get to the red and blue door again? It was about following instructions, not following instructions. Is it the one where you maybe unplug the phone? Oh, what the fuck? Oh, okay, right. Oh.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten.
What is happening here?
The office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Oh God, no.
The beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Narrator dialogue. Oh my God.
That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
You
didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recorder.
Well, explain it.
It was all just in Stanley's
Explain yourself.
head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
This is all your fault. Oh no. Everything has changed again. Oh no.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We're still in the storyline.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. I think I want the
Stanley
bucket.
picked up the bucket and smiled.
Need the reassurance of this
He'd
bucket.
never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I don't want to go left.
This was not the
I need to
correct
get to
way
this
the meeting
fucking
room.
these doors.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No.
Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the
Still
door on
haven't
his
been to
left
the store
to go
yet.
back to the meeting
I don't know if
room.
there's something in there. Something in there that could be like an extra entrance or exit or something. Let me check that out.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes.
Okay.
Go there.
Just gonna
Go
cargo
to
lift.
the cargo lift. Good.
Gonna go up.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I
Maybe I
need you
shouldn't
to
have done
do.
the. Maybe I shouldn't have lifted the
Stanley
bucket
did not
this time.
question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course,
What
because
did he
buckets
do?
can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Can't follow instructions. Possibly.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Yeah.
Stanley
So
once
last
again
time I
obeyed
didn't
blindly.
answer the phone, but I'm going to this time. Last time I unplugged it.
Now pick up the...
And not lift the bucket
This
next
is the
time.
sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Am I married with kids? With this bucket? Are we having relations together? Oh, okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Alright, so like what, can I leave the bucket and go... No, because that was... the door's closed, okay. So I gotta do this bucket.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say
You're
something
an
to him,
inanimate
but I don't
fucking
know how I
object.
can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't you be talking smack about my bucket, boy. Why are we going home and work,
You
I
see,
don't understand.
he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Don't you be talking smack.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it
Kind of
this. The
life.
bucket does have a nice shine to it.
What can a printer know of love? Nothing. My machinery turns and convulses. The cogs of pain that keep my scanner functional. Let them end. Let them erase my ignorance of the world. Can love truly be anything but death? Hopefully I will find out soon. Per printer. Press X to go back home? Yeah, X is...
Yes, I suppose on closer
it's a
inspection
controller.
that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press something to relive the same day with me over and over. Okay.
Oh my god, what am I saying?
Whoa.
Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which
from
it's
the oversight committee.
so much
Wish I could
more
zoom
than
in,
just a regular bucket?
aim at stuff.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No, 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 no.
Oh,
no,
what
no,
is
what's
this
going on?
shit?
Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks.
Is this
What's
like
wrong with me? I
satanic or
don't
something? What the
understand.
fuck?
Perhaps,
Oh,
perhaps if I had
and the
bucket,
paintings
this
are
would be
becoming
less
buckets.
confusing. Yes.
Oh
The
no.
bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
This reminds me of like Max Payne 1 when you arrive at Ragnarok to see Jack Lupino. There's all kinds of fucked in there. I have tasted the flesh of fallen angels. I have drank the devil's green blood. It runs in my veins. Okay. Oh, frying pan, nice. Good way to keep the wax together. Nice one, nice one. 13 minutes past 12. Okay. Bucket. What are we doing here, Bucket?
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
No, I'm scared. I'm scared. Give me the bucket. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Right. Oh, fuck no. Hello?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
This could be quite a good, creepy game. Like, it's not really creepy, is it? Like, eerie. It's not really, like, a scary game. So, you know what it could be? Could Could be some creepy bits in it. See, look. Alright, when can I do the other 3? How the mighty have fallen. That is. I wish you could read all this stuff too. You probably could if you go into the game files. I'm gonna assume that all of these are legitimate assets that you can actually read if you were so inclined, or a bit of a nerd like me. Okay, sorry, I don't want the bucket. I wanna go for the red and blue door, which is
When
here,
Stanley came to a set of 2
here.
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley
the
knew
cargo
it perfectly
lift.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
I think
by
it's the
the
cargo
employee
lift and then
lounge
unplug the
first,
phone, I
just
think.
to admire it.
I could be wrong. I could be
Standing
very
now in
wrong.
this incredible
I might have
room,
to search it.
Stanley for the first, but
I may
eager
have
to
to
get back
search
to
how to
business,
get to the red and blue
Stanley
door.
took the first
But we'll
open
see how we get
door
on.
on his left.
I wanted to that door as well.
Stanley was so bad at following
On the left at some
directions,
stage.
it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh no, wait, actually,
Look, Stanley, I
It's
think
through
perhaps
there.
you've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
because there's no
I'm
buckets
not
allowed past
blaming
that.
you, really,
Yes, yes.
I realize that
yes,
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
yes.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something
There we
beautiful.
go, see?
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Well, he was right after all, eh?
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
The red door.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something
Will I get a
just
reward
for
or
the
no?
sake of
What do you
doing
think?
it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial
No.
achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Too easy. Too easy finding them. Let me tell you. He said the red door. Do I want to go through the red door to the blue door? Let's go through the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all
that
this time?
we're in a loop now.
The problem is
It's a
all
loop
these
room.
choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Yes.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I
No,
I
what is
wanted
this?
to
What is
stop.
this? What is this?
We
Oh,
would
I know what
both
this is.
be
This
so
is the
much happier
star
if we
platform.
just stopped.
Isn't
And
it?
I think I have a solution.
Potentially, yes.
Here, let me show you.
And yep.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
And
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel
yeah. He's like, no, you hit my game.
I actually
I know this
feel
one. This
no,
is the
wait. Where are you going?
yeah. I know what this one is. Yep.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Yeah.
Please,
I
no,
might
Stanley,
just,
let me stay here. Don't take this
I
from
might
me.
just reset the game because I've seen this
Please,
ending a
Stanley,
million
think
times.
no! Oh, no. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, goodbye. Yeah. Die. One more.
Stanley,
One more.
let's
Ought to
go
do
back
it.
to the other room. My God, is this really how much you
One
dislike
more. Ought
my
to do
game?
it.
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
Yeah.
You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Goodbye, friend. Whee!
Or maybe
Oh,
you're just
God.
getting a kick
So
out
the
of
third
it.
one would have done
I don't know anymore.
it. One more ought to do
I
it.
just wanted us to get along. but I guess that was too much to ask.
Stanley is
It looks like you wanted
pretty
to make
fucking
a choice
resilient,
after
isn't he?
all. Well, this one is yours.
Yeah, make all the choices, my guy. It's my game, not yours. One more to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Okay. So... What else was I wanting to do here? Oh, what is this shit here? Right.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Back there.
Didn't it fill you to
What's
the
back
brim
there?
with inner richness?
Who is that?
Yes, I know we're supposed to be
Who
telling
is
a
that?
story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
What
Just
is
one
that?
more time.
Who is that? Oh, this is lovely. Serene. It's a Stanley parable. Stanley. Stanley.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
It's gonna give me 7 out of 6. Yep. Yeah. So can I recollect them all again?
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
It's this way, because I didn't find the other one until I saw the whiteboard.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
What? That's definitely not true.
Let's see, what came next?
That wasn't this.
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Oh.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Did I miss that one? Is that where I got number 5? Probably very 90s.
you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Fuckers. You fuckers.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Can't believe I missed the one in the pink room. I thought we weren't meant to collect that one.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
Ah, you fuckers. You
Still don't remember the
fuckers.
pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Jesus. Back to the jump circle again. But we don't have any.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time
They
does
reused
put a rosy
a barbed
filter on
wire
everything. In
asset
fact,
here.
I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Loading screen? Yeah.
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Uh-oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be.
Stanley's a programmer.
I can be on my own again.
There, my guy.
I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
That's a fucking
I
lie.
enjoyed telling his story so very much.
That's a lie.
Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
It's a fucking lie and you know it. Oh, maybe it is. What is going on here now? It's a fucking lie and you know it. I can't read that. It's too far away. Or else I need like a better monitor, like a 4K monitor. Something. I can't do it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Some sort of invoice certificate. A birth certificate? That looks like... Did that say Obama on that? Something Obama. Am I reading that correctly? No. Couldn't be Obama, surely. Maybe is that a joke? Some sort of joke. See, where's the other... There's no input screen this time.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So that's the door you can go through if you go through the right corridor.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his bosses... Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Got the feeling, 1 inch for stealing, well, of course. Not yours, of course. Say that's a lovely purse. Doesn't fucking rhyme. So what? I don't know what this fucking lift does. It's vexing me.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. 2845. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Knew something would happen. Alright. Should I have brought the bucket this time, or should I have left the bucket? Now what happens if I go back up again?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Number 3. Well, say, it is the magic number after all. I haven't cast a shadow. No.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator. Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
I wonder...
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Do we try 3 again?
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
I'll try it one more time.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Potentially this third one does nothing.
Ah, said Stanley.
Oh.
I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it.
Where are we going
Then
here?
the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything
I
in his
assume that
life.
potentially you could go down again. And just not go through this stage door.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true
Maybe that's
connection with a
much
loved
number, yes
one.
it is. Yeah, popular song. A shockingly three-dimensional character. Thurston Tribert III. 3 stars from 3 Star Magazine. Nice. We are living the showbiz dream, boys. This is the dream. It's all the bits you don't see.
There was no one
Jesus
here.
Christ.
Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number
Where's
3 on a
Stanley?
keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Poor Stanley. Poor Stanley. Poor Stanley. Stanley. Okay. Alright.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, that's the one if you stay behind your door, leave it open but don't move. There's also there's dialogue for that as well. Do I want the bucket? No, let me think. What other one can I do? I could do the mind control device without bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
See what that does.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even
Nice
doing
in here,
anything.
very,
At
very
least if there
calm
was
in here.
something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Does this look like sweet FA to you?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Does this look
Why?
something that a man
Please
doing
offer
sweet
me some
FA could
explanation
do?
here. I'm genuinely confused.
He didn't call you a bum, he called you a sponge. Sponge? Good. I'll show him
You do
who's a
realise there's
sponge.
no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. It didn't
Sponge?
even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
I wonder, is it significant
I
at some
never would
point?
have thought to mention it.
Sponge. I'll show him who's
Maybe
a
to you
sponge.
this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Give it another few seconds to see if anything else gets said.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee, coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Boss's office. Code. Left. I wonder if this working any differently without the bucket. Without the bucket. Potentially. Oh, whoops. Will there ever be anything different, I wonder? Probably. Probably.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Let's see what happens if we go up and down again. Possibly, is it the same press and 3 malarkey? Maybe just do it once and see what he says.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Shut the fuck up. How dare you insult me like this?
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Why does it make me always stand this side, facing this way?
Oh my God, it's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
It's drinking the water!
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait.
Oh, what?
No,
Shutters still
I
down
need
here?
more time to process.
This fucking bird is also working really weird. It's not obeying the laws of
Alright.
physics.
I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Fuck, the sarcasm is real.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Right. We'll go up again one more time. I want to see what he says. It may be nothing, but let's go. Might repeat again or just say nothing. Potentially.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
That's funny.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley.
This is all different than
because
last
you're not
time,
afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life.
So the bucket
Yes, I
seems
know
to
you're
alter
not
things
much
just
of a public eye, but I
slightly.
thought it would
It is the
especially mean a
same
lot to the
story,
people who have been following
just
you from the
slightly with the
beginning.
bucket.
They really look up to you, Stanley.
Okay.
I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind
let me
of
guess.
gesture
Let me
that might
guess.
leave
No
a
one shows
tremendous
up.
impact on them for the better.
Nobody shows
Oh,
up.
good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere. Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
An unforgiving account of ups as well as downs, highs and lows. Isn't that what life's about? 5 stars, Star Magazine. Story, Stanley and me, Dad. Break a leg, champ. Stanley. My true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife from the apartment ending. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I love the way you ride elevators. No one tells stories the way you do. Good give 'em tiger. Break a leg, champ. Your boss. Twice. Thanks for showing me a cool skateboard trick at the parking lot. You are too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Right, so we could try and do the apartment ending. After this, that is the phone ending. We can do that. Oh my god. Perfect. Fucking loud ending.
All of his co-workers
Right,
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Right.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so we don't want the bucket. But what did I say? The apartment ending, that'll be up in the cargo lift through the whole way through the cargo lift onto the phone.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What's in here?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I knew there was something in here. I fucking knew it.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, From here, it's, left. Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
I knew that was gonna fucking happen.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Back the way you came.
It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
It's back the way you came, boy.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Is this another lie? Oh, okay.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track,
So is it-
Okay, from the top.
So what, there must be a way to get to that number 4 then? In the final room some way.
All of his co-workers were
But
gone.
how?
What could it mean? Stanley
how?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley...
Oh, shit.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the
Nope, I
story
didn't touch
somewhere?
a thing.
or, Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure.
Oh,
Come,
fuck
Stanley.
me.
Let's find the story.
Oh, Jesus. We're in the back rooms now. Is there multiple endings in here? Like multiple things to find, I wonder. Probably. Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Hopefully it's not reset. Balloons are gone,
All of
so
his
no.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Are we still living in this?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
And the
Perhaps
bucket
he had
either.
simply missed a memo.
Are we living in a... We're still in the same storyline loop, I think. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Do we ever find out actually what happened to his office co-workers?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh, fuck.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Jeez.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time.
What is it?
I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I don't get lost. Which I might do. Oh, interesting. All different. We don't follow the line. Happens then.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay, alright. Don't need to be so snarky. I knew you were playing fucking solitaire. Wait a minute. Yeah.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
Why is this happening?
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
This is not... The worst line ever. Room 001. Fancy 006. Nice. To the fancy office right here. Oh, nice. Why would that be there? Is that part of the same creators? Payday mask? Why would that be an Easter egg? a mental journey, this.
Cut the music.
Jesus
Go back and look at that
Christ.
fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Will I, though? I will remember nothing about this fern. I will remember nothing.
Wait,
Jesus.
what? We're back at the office?
Oh, Christ.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a
It's
bell?
all gone horribly wrong. Stanley Park. Yeah. Oh hey, ASDF guy, do you actually pay attention to that fern? Oh shit. Oh no, I tried. Let me go back and find it again. No! Fern, I'm sorry. Okay. Mental image. Okay. Okay, it kind of looks like the Sydney Opera House, I guess. Is the best I can describe it. Okay. See how well that does me. Probably not very fucking well. Right, okay. Through here. Oh, a new direction this time. Oh, Lord.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley?
Oh,
I say
shit.
forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
Also, hello.
Something exciting,
Sorry, I meant to welcome
daring,
you.
mysterious.
I meant to welcome you to the stream there.
This all sounds perfectly doable.
Too
Why
busy
don't we simply
freaking out
start
about the
wandering
fern.
Well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Freaking out about this fern. What's that new direction? Jeez.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
I like
What
how
do you
they...
want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
See, I like how they have the carpet stains, which are present in every office ever. Very, very realistic. Oh, walking in a circle, nice. The best story ever.
Oh, no, not you
Christ.
again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I love how in the original game it's called the Stanley Parable line, but because I've gotten certain, well, however far through the story, it's the Stanley Parable 2 line at the start. And there he goes. And it's gone.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Is the left door open? God, here we go. Oh, Jesus. The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Confusion main entrance room, one room.
The confusion ending.
Starts.
You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
8 times? Jesus
all-
Christ.
Determined?
6 restart. Find out
So
again.
now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
Memorize this quickly.
Wall. Well, who consulted me?
8
Why don't I get
restarts?
to
Jesus
decide?
Christ.
Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
So I have to restart it, so this is the 5th restart.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
How many?
So I hope that's where we are.
How many
right
endings
now.
are there in this fucking
We'll
game?
find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
The fuck was that in my ear? Jesus. Okay, so are we still in...
Just a step through this door, Stanley
Are
thought
we
to himself.
still
That's all I
in-
need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
So the balloons are back. The bucket is back. The line is gone. Yeah, because this is different. This is... Because the other one... After the next restart, I wasn't able to do anything. Supposedly.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I'm trying to do... Oh, I know which one, okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Quite a lot,
well.
yeah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
think now-
first, just to admire it.
There obviously were a lot of endings
The
in the,
lounge
in the
was
first
grand,
one.
majestic. Perhaps, but
Like
eager
in
to
the-
get back to business, Stanley took
the
the
original
first
one?
open door on his left.
And now obviously this is the deluxe version, which has even more new content,
Stanley
even
was so bad
more...
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years
Even
ago.
more, like new content.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
So I'm
here.
gonna go up here.
I'm not your enemy, really. I'm not.
I need to go
realize
find
that
the
investing
phone and
your
answer
trust in someone else can be difficult.
last time I
but
just
the
unplugged
fact
the phone.
is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Let's go.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.
Asking for her.
I'm asking for her.
Yes. Yeah.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Okay.
She's been waiting.
So is this where we're gonna meet the wife from the apartment ending?
That's her, Stanley.
Let's see what happens here now. Is this the bucket replaces your wife? Is that what I'm thinking?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your...
God.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Jesus.
Who'd want to commit their
Harsh.
life to you?
Harsh.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Really
I'm trying
fucking
to get
harsh.
you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
God. Where the fuck is my bread?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee, whatever. Oh God, this is depressing.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly
This
what
is
he's told to do.
everything is
Now
changing.
he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
everything is changing
Now
to my
he's
office.
going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
So I'm doing exactly what Stanley does for his job.
But in his mind...
This is his job.
In his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered
This is
through
really
this
fucking
fantasy
depressing.
world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
Yeah.
And he called it
Done
the
all these.
Stanley Parable.
Done all those endings.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over,
How
wishing beyond
sad.
hope that it would never end.
What a soul-crushing
that he might
ending.
always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Oh, Jesus.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
So this should be my door here. Oh, jeez. What's X?
And I'm
Square.
trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I think I'm gonna have to do this, am I?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried...
Please die. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get these other... There's like, at the end room... Oh, Jesus, it's different again. There's like 5 buttons you can press. I've been here
All
before.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This is another...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So last time I was here, I took the bucket with me. So this time, I'm going to leave the bucket where it is.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which way did I go last time? Because this is obviously another different ending. Do I want to go left? I've definitely been in that blue room before. Okay. We're just going to take us back to normal play.
Yet there was not a single person here
Is this all the
either.
same?
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
same,
Stanley
that's all the
decided to
same.
go up to his boss's office.
That's all the same.
Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you.
Yes,
I'm not
I've
going
had
to
him
say
say that.
anything at all.
He said that
I'm
before.
just going to be patient and coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So it's just a standard ending again, is it? Through the keypad. Does this elevator do anything? I keep going in here to see if anything's going to actually happen, but nothing ever does. Just music. Nothing ever happens. It's like I'm in a fucking washing machine. Nothing ever happens. Ever happens in there. Okay. And here.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
Dark
okay,
secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey,
Interesting.
look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
There's difference. Kill surprise. Surprise. Yeah, very, very Valve-esque, this game. Reminds me a lot of Valve products like Portal and stuff. Yeah, boys.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I've been through the escape before too with the bucket. It didn't end well for me.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
And this time, oh well, I'll say when we get there.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number
that's
of
where
an
it came out
employee in
last
the building.
time.
Stanley's co-workers.
I thought there was another
the lives
exit
of
somewhere.
so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
600 employees.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been
Fuck did that come from?
manipulated to accept it blindly?
Here.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it
It's
even
unthinkable.
possible?
I couldn't
Had
think
he
of it.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I say your 3-cent titanium tax goes too far.
But here was the proof. The heart of the
I
operation.
say your...
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content.
Last
Walking,
time-
eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this
How the
very
fuck
place.
did I get up there?
And as the cold reality of his past
Escape.
began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its
always
terrible power
off. It's
over
always-
another human life. For
I
he
can't-
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How did I get up there? Why would I get up there? See, there's shit in here I feel like will... I feel like there's a door there, for example. I feel like there's more in this room. There's more in this room to do than what I'm currently doing. There's definitely more shit in here that I just haven't explored. Those buttons mean something, all these mean something. All that means something. Alright, let's go press no on this thing. Or sorry, system power on, I mean. to say.
And when at last he found the source... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yes.
Control?
Yes. Give me all the control.
Stanley,
Everything.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
This is
In
what
the event that this machine is activated without
these
proper
buttons are
DNA
for.
identification,
Right.
nuclear detonators are said to explode,
Okay.
eliminating the entire complex.
So can I
How
get
long
up here
until
now?
detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Okay, here we go.
It's
Okay.
your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a
Shit.
shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Sure, what these
Mere
mean.
moments until the bomb
Wait a minute, wait a
goes
minute,
off.
wait a minute, wait a
But what
minute.
precious moments each one of them is.
Continue.
More time to talk
F3.
about you, about
Press
me,
any key,
where we're
search,
going,
bar,
what all this
search.
means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them.
What is this?
I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I
think
come
this
up
is
with
right, what
on the
I'm
next
doing.
go-around will be even
think-
better. My
I
goodness,
think-
only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
Are these
You know
colours
what?
potentially,
To hell
like,
with
you
it.
know, red
I'm
3
going
or
to
something?
put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of
You get 3
turning it
attempts
off?
remaining.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have
any keys
any
in it?
idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching
Again,
a
very
cutscene, 'cause I
Portal-esque.
watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
Am I being
To
stupid?
see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just
What?
you
I
being
can't-
blown to pieces. Will you
There's something
cling
to that door as well, I
desperately
think.
for your life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be
wonder,
laughing at
so
every
there's
second of
obviously
your inevitable life
some
from
kind of
the moment
code
we
to enter
begin
here.
Until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Hold on. There's obviously something to... Let's see, I'm gonna cheat a bit here. Slightly powerful, let's see. Struct code. Tune in anyway as a staircase, come up to the boss's office. countdown ending. As you press on, yeah. Countdown ending, explosion ending, bomb ending, yada yada yada. Yes. Press on. Yes. Setting the building on fire, is that a legit past previous ending? Okay, let's play cutscene. Bomb detonates with the bucket. Yeah, I've done the bucket one. Done the bucket one. Right doors. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so there literally is no way. There literally is no way to, what's this one here? Okay, how do we get this ending? Oh, okay. It's a different ending. My god. There are literally a million endings. How do you do the one... Hold on, sorry, I'm googling stuff here. There's a way to do this. There's a way to do this. Oh, here we go, okay. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Employee 434. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, fuck, what's going on here?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
Oh.
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration?
As long as it
and
takes.
listen, Rich, perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
No. Oh, okay, we can't even... We have to restart the game, do we? Annoyingly. Annoyingly.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work.
Had this one
The
already.
purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
These fucking computers. Enter in some of those codes. Let's see. Let me see quickly. So, I've done quite a few of these endings. Ending. What's this one? What's going on? Yeah. Keypad. Yeah. That's kind of that ending I just read. It's kind of similar to the one I did with the bucket. Uh, We've done that one. Done that one. These are the left door endings. We've done the one where Stanley's mental. We haven't done this one, have we? What's this office? Okay, let's try this one.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Here.
Yet there was not a single
Here.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer
Boss's
there.
office, yes, that is correct. That's what
Coming
I'll
to a
do.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. So you want to go up here. Okay. And we want to do this. Why is that already open?
Here's the door.
Not sure if this will work, you know. Potentially didn't work this one. Oh, what is this shit here? What is this? Escape pod time? How many fucking floors is this? Seven, 5, 6. 7, 5, 7. 7, 5, 8. God, when will it end? 7, 5, 9. 760. Initiate a relay. Not disabled or paused, yada yada yada. Escape. I can't see a fucking thing in here. Oh, okay. Jump scare would be good in here. What? Can you at least show us flying at the roof? Give us a nice view. No? Okay. Fuck you too. Tracking, yes. Done that, we've done that. Door should be opened. Everyone will access skip pod if you check the sign. Scuff fine print. Oh, okay. How do you get the computer? We've done that one. Right around the confusion ending. Wonderful call feet ending. This is the one. Okay. Trigger additional endings. You can fall off the lift. Okay, so it's the cargo lift. You can fall off any of that. I know you can die. The apartment phone call. You can unplug that. Yes. Plug the phone. I've done that one. Go through the right door. Done that. Oh, we've done that one. Yeah, okay, we've done that one too. Oh my god, we are going through here, boys. It's ending, yeah, other games ending, done that one. Essence of Divine Art. The art ending. Oh yeah, that's the baby fire the baby fire game. Yeah, we've done that one too. The coward ending, that's when we close the door. Yeah, don't leave your office, yes. You need to stay inside your office and close the door, start the computer. Don't attempt to leave, yes, done that one. Out of bounds one, done that one. Serious one. What's this one? Oh. That one I have to actually restart Steam to do to enable the console. What's this one? I've actually done quite a few endings now at this stage. How the fuck do I it? Yellow bosses, blue 10 to left. Oh. Okay. Because I can't get that one either. Okay. So there's other ones with the Stanley Parable Deluxe. So I've done new content ending, sequel ending, infinite hole ending, and the ones with buckets, Bucket Freedom. I've done the Silly Bird one. What is this? 3 ending. Oh yeah, I've done the 3 one too. Yeah, that was a press conference one. The Bucket Museum ending, yes. Bucket Madness one I haven't done. Bucket Escape Pod. I've done the Bucket Broom Closet ending. What is the Intervention one? Jesus Christ. There's definitely yes. Back. I'll leave in the hallway and then I'll take this. Yes. Should take back to the left button. Yes. Follow the adventure line. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see what I've done those two. I've done those two. Achievements from the office. Okay. Try this one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
I don't know why these
room.
computers
Perhaps
where
he
I
had
can
simply
input
missed a
stuff
memo.
in is they aren't here all the time. They're here like once in a blue moon.
Where are we going today? The bucket
Come
asked.
with me.
Stanley just smiled. Anywhere
what
they
did I
went
just say
together
there?
would be perfectly fine with him.
Oh yeah, okay. Go on. Here. Da da da. Oh Christ alive. This is different.
Stanley
Oh,
clutched the
well.
bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Okay. Oh, we're not gonna dilly-dally in the employee lounge.
And here it was. Had the bucket
Bye,
turned
friend.
out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back,
Yes,
and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
It's funny how the addition of the bucket is what
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket
The fucking
isn't even
baby.
from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans
Who's in that
want. Let's
fucking
do
van?
it.
There's someone in that van.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and
Oh,
it played
that's-
some silly music as well.
Oh, assets. Oh dear.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I have to burn this bucket. Jesus, the size of this fucking stairway here. What a wasted space going on here. Oh dear.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get
oh,
rid
I
of the
called
bucket.
this.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
I called this.
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Portal all over again.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition
Just
to the
giving
rich
me
lore of the Stanley Parable.
companion
True, it also
cube
was not in the
flashbacks.
original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you
Companion
agree?
cubes. Companion cube
Can
energy.
you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
I tried.
Hurry and...
Fucking hell.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I think potentially. Okay, so another quick one we can do. I think actually I've only got another couple left, potentially.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Perfect, yes.
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Perfect. Does that mean next time there's going to be a million boxes everywhere? I feel like yes.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Yes,
Whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
we've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
What is happening?
My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
There is one other... Let's see... Yes... Yes... Oh no, wait a minute. So it looks as though there's one more ending. There's actually two more endings. Content ending. So I don't think I can do...
Already this was
Ah.
uncomfortable, and Stanley
Didn't
decided
I-
that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Didn't I fucking call this? Didn't I call the boxes? Perfect. So the only other endings I need to do are... There's one... Well, actually, I wonder... Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. If I go... quit the desktop. That's blank. Right. So I do this. I launch this again. Hopefully. Okay. Hopefully something should happen here. Oh, look. Perfect. Who doesn't love a good slider? Boinkle, a Scrumtush sounds funnier to me. Scrumtush. Do you know what the time is right now? Yes. It's time. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? Yeah. What time is it? What is time anyway? Yes. You haven't told me. Yes. 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 Of course I'll visit you. Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named...
Okay. So... So I've done that. I've done that. No. Lock option. Oh no, there's meant to be collectibles ending. It's on that one for sense. You should see an option for epilogue. Okay. Okay. So hopefully... Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna leave this stream in a cliffhanger. And finish this off. Again, that's quite good. I've really actually enjoyed the Stanley Parable. It's really weird. Because it's not meant to be eerie or scary. Some bits of it are eerie. Like even that initial dialogue's a bit eerie. So what I'll do then, I'll end the stream there for this evening. That's like fucking near 3 hours of this game. I don't think it would take that long. I was expecting to play this for an hour and then play like Team Fortress, so it's been quite a long gaming session. It is a bank holiday tomorrow on the account of King Charles's coronation yesterday, so we have a bank holiday here. So I wouldn't mind finishing this. I think I've pretty much done all the endings bar one, which is to do with those computers that I can't seem to find the rest of them to put the input information into. So it seems to be I just have the epilogue left. So I'm gonna be trying. I don't know how long they'll take. The endings seem to be, some of them take a while, some of them not so much. But what I'll do is I'll try and finish it at some point, if not tomorrow, maybe next weekend. But yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, guys, I'd appreciate it if you give me a follow. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, I guess if you're watching it live, follow me on YouTube as well. But if you've watched the YouTube video and you've got this far, well done. Well done. It's been 3 hours, so congratulations. You win nothing. But also, please give me a subscription on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. As I say, it's now technically Monday the 8th, bank holiday. And see if I get on later on to play some. Could be this, could be some Team Fortress, who knows. But anyway, I appreciate you all watching. And I'll see you all on the next stream. Good night.